Hello and welcome to the Mason Cable News Show. I hope everyone had a great weekend. My name is Grace Belisle.
And I'm Ava Jack. Last week, Student Centers hosted a Mario Kart tournament. The event took place on Friday, November 15th from 4 to 7 p.m. in the Hub. All Patriots were encouraged to participate. The tournament saw students go head-to-head in Mario Kart. The event also offered grand prizes to the winners. Congratulations to them!
Last weekend, the City of Fairfax put on the 38th Annual Craft Show. The event featured vendors from across the country selling their home goods. It also had a hot lunch available and an opportunity to meet Santa Claus. The Annual Craft Show is a great opportunity to support local businesses.
George Mason's Foragers Forest turned 1 this month. To commemorate, forest organizers planted 5 chestnut seeds. Forest planner Sarah Roth explained that chestnuts are functionally extinct in the wild. The anniversary gave students the opportunity to check out the site and see the thriving plants. We also have a video to show you about the program.
We are doing a planting and a bio blitz to celebrate our 1-year anniversary of the installation of this Foragers Forest. I'm Sarah Roth, and I'm a project co-lead on the Foragers Forest project and an alumni of George Mason University. Today we planted in 5 hybrid American chestnuts. These are part of our partnership with the American Chestnut Foundation. Chestnuts went through a pretty bad blight in the early 1900s, and as a result, they became functionally extinct in the wild. So we are trying to help restore this species back into our natural environment.
George Mason University professor Charles Chavez Jr. will be honored by the Anti-Defamation League. The Anti-Defamation League is dedicated to fighting hate, bigotry, and injustice. Chavez focuses on civil rights, activism, and Black-Jewish relationships in the South. He will be given the Key Family Award for his work. Congratulations, Chavez. We will now head to Bell for the weekly weather report and an interview with Jared Mott, who is the conservation director for the Isaac Walton League of America.
Hello Patriots! Temperatures are beginning to drop as a cold front made its way across our region last night. Now this front produced heavy rain, and I don't know about you, but I lost power at least once during the storm. Now the cold front has already passed us, but we still have an upper level low pressure system and cold air convection, so prepare to be bundled up this week. Today's high is 49 degrees and our low for tonight is 33. Today is mostly cloudy with a chance of showers this evening, so continue to stay vigilant with that umbrella. It's going to be windy, so not the best for college students, but hey, if you're hoping for some snowfall, Friday there's a small possibility for some flurries. However, the high for Friday is 43 degrees, so chances are it'll be more slush than snow. But if you live in the mountains, your chances increase exponentially. By the weekend, things are starting to looking up. We're reaching the 50s again, looking to be mostly sunny. And now that I've covered the weather, I want to shift our attention to a weather-related issue that needs to be highlighted. I sat down with the conservation director for the Isaac Walton League of America. Let's take a look. Hi, so I'm here with Jared Mott, and he is the Conservation Director, and we're here today to discuss the problem with the water pollution that has come from hurricanes. And so you're part of an organization that is aimed in protecting America's soil, air, woods, waters, and wildlife, and you are in charge of strategically planning for the department. So can you tell us a little bit about what the impact of these recent hurricanes has on the water and the runoff that comes from these hurricanes?
Sure, and thanks for having me. But, I think with hurricanes and these big coastal storms, the primary concern comes from excessive runoff. Obviously, there's a lot of rainfall associated with these events, and that rainfall causes excessive runoff, and that runs into our storm water treatment system, and it affects our ability to treat it. Especially when you think that a lot of times there's loss of electricity associated with these storms, and so that affects water treatment plants' ability to treat water. And then as you see additional runoff coming from excessive rainfall, all that excessive storm water can affect our surface waters like our rivers and streams, as well as our groundwater, which is, our underground aquifers and stuff like that. And as this water all moves downstream, like I said, a lot of times the treatment plants can't treat it because they don't have electricity. And so we're sort of behind the 8 ball from the start. And so all this excessive runoff coming off impervious surfaces like parking lots and roads and stuff like that is bringing all of our everyday pollutants with it into our drinking water supply.
So if it's hard to treat it, how is this affecting people's health that are then getting this water that is, I guess you said, slower to treat?
Sure. And, I think that the health effects of untreated drinking water are, obviously pretty bad. Everything from, common illnesses to life-threatening illnesses. We know that having clean drinking water is really important. And, I think that without the ability to, treat that water, you're going to see folks' health be affected if they were unable to prepare for a storm system ahead of time by buying bottled water. Or in turn, you could see folks turning to products like bottled water, driving shortages, driving up costs. And of course, not everybody can afford to be able to buy bottled water, for a gallon per person per day while the power's out, while water treatment is at risk.
Right. So, if hurricanes are also so few in number throughout the year, why do you think that this is such an important topic? We see how this affects the areas and the surrounding areas within this time frame, but is there any long-lasting effects that this actually plays on water contamination?
Sure. I think damage to water treatment facilities that comes from storms, not just hurricanes, but comes from any sort of storm, that can be cumulative, and it's also expensive to repair. So, as we see more storms associated with climate change, and we see increased ferocity of storms, we see increased, ferocity of non-tropical systems. We see prolonged periods of drought followed by periods of, excessive rainfall events that overwhelm our ability to capture and treat that event, the water that runs off in an event like that. All that stuff is cumulative. It breaks stuff down. It causes wear and tear on our infrastructure, and getting it fixed costs money and time. And while stuff's getting fixed, it's obviously not working properly. And so you see these effects begin to just compound on top of each other.
Good point. So we just talked about the contamination of the hurricanes, but I also want to segue into the saltwater contamination, because when we have a lot of snowfall, they put salt on the roads, and I know that your organization also works with that. So can you discuss a little bit about how the salt affects the water, and is there not a filtering system for this?
Yeah, I'm happy to. So like you said, the Isaac Walton League of America has a whole campaign dedicated to road salt and its effect on our waters. So the short answer is no. As salt as it runs off after it rains or something like that, it ends up in our fresh water, in our surface water, in our rivers, creeks, and it can't be just filtered out at the water plant without expensive techniques like reverse osmosis or desalination treatments, which most of your municipal water treatment facilities do not have access to. And if they did, that cost is then passed on to the ratepayers. So it's not as simple as just filtering it out. And, it is a huge problem with fresh water quality in regions where you do see road treatment with salt. Obviously, the league isn't, or I don't think anybody's advocating for, we should make roads unsafe.
Right.
But I do think that, there are techniques in terms of how much to apply, when to apply it. And the folks treating the roads, the departments of transportation, they're in line with this. They don't want to use any more salt than they really have to. Yeah. They're spending the taxpayers' dollars wisely. But, that's something that private homeowners need to think about as well. And then, other private applicators, the folks doing parking lots and stuff like that, treating those sort of impervious surfaces, making sure that you don't use more than you need to, and you really don't need as much as you think you do. And making sure that you can also treat frequently and shovel frequently. So that way, snow doesn't become ice and then that much harder to remove.
That's a good point. So basically just make sure that it's within a specific amount so that way people's health aren't being affected by some people's carelessness.
Sure. Anything you can do to reduce, the amount of salt that is being run off into our surface water is going to be helpful, because that has long-term impacts, like I said, on our infrastructure. We all are familiar with, our cars and bridges and stuff rusting out from excessive salt. And like we talked about earlier, that infrastructure is expensive to repair. And it also has a human health component too. We talked about drinking water from tropical storms like hurricanes, but also this affects, winter weather affects our drinking water too by having this salt in it. And if you're on a low sodium diet, for instance, it's hard to avoid taking in excess sodium in the wintertime.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for letting us know. We've discussed some of the ways that this pollution or the salt pollution can contaminate water, some ways that maybe people can avoid that or help that. Is there any other way that you would like to tell our viewers here at MCN to spread awareness about this specific issue?
Absolutely. You can go to our website, which is www.saltwatch.org, and you can sign up for a free kit that'll allow you to test the waters near you, whether it's a creek in your backyard. You can even test your tap water if you want. And you can share those results with us and other monitors across the country on our Clean Water Hub. And so that's the easiest thing you can do is go to saltwatch.org, request a free SaltWatch kit, and you can also get resources there on how to use less salt, and all the way up to how to talk to your local government about salt pollution in your area.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It was great having you. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it back to our anchors.
Thanks, Belle. On November 21st, the College of Science will be hosting an event dedicated to exploring undergraduate research options. The event will cover Mason's research opportunities, as well as opportunities available off campus. If you're interested, it will be hosted online from 4 to 4:45 p.m. Registration is not required.
Film at Mason will be hosting their annual showcase on November 21st. The showcase will include award-winning and notable films created by Mason students and alumni. This year's showcase features documentaries, fiction film directing, a music video, and senior thesis films. Films will be shown at the Mason exhibitions in Arlington. Registration for the event is available on Mason 360.
November 22nd is World AIDS Day. Join Women and Gender Studies for an informative session on HIV and AIDS global crisis. The session will be held from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the J.C. Gold Room. You can register for the event on Mason 360.
Calling all artists, illustrators at Mason will be hosting a sketch jam on November 22nd. Bring your favorite art supplies, whether digital or traditional, and draw with other artists. Prompts will be provided, but you can also work on any personal projects. The jam will be from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the Art and Design Building, room L003. To register for the event, head on over to Mason 360.
The Fairfax Symphony Orchestra is going to George Mason on November 23rd. With Jeremy Dank on piano and Christopher Zimmerman conducting, the symphony will put on a roughly 2-hour-long performance. The concert will be at the Center for the Arts from 8 to 10 p.m. If you are a current Mason student, be sure to claim your free tickets. Spots are limited, so head on over to Mason 360 for registration and how to claim your free tickets.
The Mason women's volleyball team hosted Duquesne University for the final 2 matches of the season. In the first game on Friday evening, the Patriots came out strong behind senior Camille Larkin's impressive performance, sweeping the Dukes 3-0. On Saturday, the Patriots started the afternoon by honoring the 5 seniors on the team. After the ceremony, the Patriots and the Dukes battled back-to-back each, winning 2 sets each, but the Patriots won an impressive 5-set to win the game 3-2 and sweep the Dukes out on senior weekend. The Patriots finished the season 11-19, which is the best season for Mason since 2010. With the season over, we want to wish the best of luck to the seniors and congratulate the team on their hard work, and we look forward to seeing them again next year.
On Saturday, the Mason men's basketball team headed south to Greenville, North Carolina to take on East Carolina University. Despite senior Darius Maddox's third 20-point game this season and 2 separate overtimes, the Patriots ultimately fell to East Carolina in another heartbreaking loss, losing 78-77. Last night, the Patriots welcomed Coppin State University to Eagle Bank Arena, where the Patriots took home the win with a score of 93-55. The Patriots' next game will be this Saturday at Eagle Bank Arena against Ferrum College. Mason will also play over Thanksgiving break at James Madison University in Harrisonburg.
On Sunday, the Patriots traveled to Huntington, West Virginia for an evening game against Marshall University. There, the Patriots won 69-56, moving the record to 4-0. Last night, the Patriots were on the road in North Carolina for a game against Wake Forest University, where they won 50-41, improving the record to 5-0. The Patriots' next game will be next Tuesday at home against Mount St. Mary's University. Mason will also play 2 games over Thanksgiving break on the road in Annapolis, Maryland against the University of Maryland and the U.S. Naval Academy.
Are you interested in becoming an RA next year? Housing and Residence Life will be putting on an info session November 25th. The session will cover what it looks like to be a student staff member for housing. It will be hosted online from 10 to 11 a.m. Registration is available on Mason 360.
Join University Life SciTech for their Hot Chocolate Cafe on December 2nd. Enjoy a cup of hot chocolate, coloring pages, and word searches. This cozy hangout will be at the Source at the SciTech campus from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. You can register for this event on Mason 360.
On December 3rd, Into Mason will be hosting a Paint and Sip. Come and enjoy tea, coffee, and snacks while painting and connecting with others. Paint and Sip is an opportunity to relax and let your creativity flourish before finals. If you're interested, the event will be held in the Angel Cabrera Global Center from 1 to 3 p.m. Registration for this event is on Mason 360.
Join George Mason alumni for Real Talk, an opportunity to talk with alumni about what to expect the first year of your career. The session will cover their experiences, tips and tricks, what they wish they knew, and more. Real Talk will be hosted on Zoom on December 4th from 4 to 5 p.m. Registration for the event is available on Mason 360.
Stressed about finals? Learning Services present Academic Survival for Finals, an opportunity to plan and de-stress. During the event, students will develop a plan to complete their final exams, projects, and papers. Students will also discuss ways to manage stress. The event will be held over Zoom from 6 to 7 p.m. on December 4th.
This will be our last show before Thanksgiving break. George Mason University will be closed from Wednesday, November 27th to Sunday, December 1st. So, Ava, what's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
My favorite Thanksgiving food has got to be honey ham and mashed potatoes. So good. So good. How about you?
I love mashed potatoes. Love me some deviled eggs and pumpkin pie. Go to Ike's. Go to Ike's and get their pumpkin pie.
I've never had Ike's pumpkin pie, but you know where you should go to get pumpkin pie? McDonald's. Their pumpkin pie is pretty good. Thank you for tuning in, Patriots. You can keep up to date with news on and off campus if you follow us on Instagram at MCN on TV, Twitter and Facebook at Mason Cable Network, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Ava Jack.
And I'm Grace Belisle. Have a great Thanksgiving break, Patriots.